Good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILECAST on Westnile television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, Eid al-Adha celebrations in Arua city. NEBI MPs contribute 2 million shillings for renovation of NEBI Police Health Centre 2 to a Health Centre 3. And abandoned bridge leaves 1 dead and 5 others injured in Maricha district. This and more in the NILECAST News Bulletin. It's Wednesday, the 28th of June, 2023, and you're most welcome to the NILECAST on Westnile television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. As Muslims in the world are celebrating Eid al-Adha, different leaders have called for vigilance, peace and unity. During the Eid al-Adha celebration at Arua Public Primary School in Arua City, Muslims have been urged to share amongst themselves as prophetic tradition entails. Farish Majid reports more.
Muslims across the world today celebrated Eid al-Adha, which is the second and the bigger of the 2 Eids celebrated annually as stated in the Islamic calendar. At Arua Primary School grounds in Arua City, where prayers have taken place over the years, Abu Jafar, the district Qadi, condemned the recent attack of innocent school children in Kasese by unknown persons. Sheikh Abu also went ahead to condemn the allegations of the attackers on Muslims.
Islam is not violence. Islam is, and as we join other brothers and sisters across the country condemning the acts which happened in Kasese of killing almost 42 innocent students for no crime, for those who were alleging to be Muslims, yet they are not. Muslim does not encourage killing, violence, chaos. Islam is peace, and you submit to the will of Allah. That Allah has chosen somebody to be where he is, that is the will of Allah. We don't encourage and we don't preach. Those who are preaching the same, they are not part of our community and we are not part of them. This is our message for today.
Eid al-Adha, unlike Eid al-Fitr, is celebrated for 3 days by the Muslims across the world to honor Prophet Ibrahim's willingness and submissiveness to sacrifice his only son as ordered by Allah in a dream. Sheikh Rashid Kamis, the City Card Supreme Administration, however, called for unity among the Muslim Ummah.
I'm urging all Muslims to be one. We should unite and work together, because unity is power. When we divide ourselves, we will not move ahead, instead we will be going backward. So I'm urging all
And more in our stories for the evening. Muslim leaders in Zombo district have been urged to acquire land titles for their properties in order to avoid disputes with people who offer them land for free. This appeal was made by the LC3 Paida chairperson, the LC3 chairperson, Paida Town Council Onega Innocent Godfrey, during the Eid al-Adha prayers at Salama Mosque, Paida district. Let's have more on that story.
Muslim believers in Zombo district have been urged to emulate the life of Ibrahim, who offered sacrifice to Allah through self-discipline. The call was made by the Koroloa County Qadi Sheikh Al-Jab Adam today at Salama Mosque, Paida, during Eid al-Adha celebrations. In his message, he noted that some Muslim believers are taken by worldly desires which contradicts Islamic Sharia. Al-Jab also encouraged the Muslims to value education of their children, hence fostering development in the Islamic faith.
وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن دعا بالدعوات إلى يوم يقوم الحساب. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Bringi forut Mungu subhanahu wa ta'ala yonku pakti sheke erom ni rut Mungu ma ini ndumatin iwa litush ini ndumadit mi Eid al-Adha ma iti Eid matukshin midar oro pa islamu o pelege karashel Oforut Mungu kumdupa midano manwango kiparo kipela kuidi maeni isho preigingo manwango kiparo kibiti mo ibada mitum isho preigingo kadong tin inuwe nyirikindana magele kuidi bogeforut Mungu subhanahu wa ta'ala.
During the same celebrations, the town council chairperson, Innocent Onega Godfrey, advised Muslim leaders to acquire land titles for all the mosques in the town to avoid disputes with the people who offer them land for free. His appeal comes at a time when there is a multi-million project for Islamic school at Salama Mosque in the town council, which is at 89% completion.
It is very important that the Islam community, wherever they are doing development and other religious organizations, I want to appeal to them to get land titles, as this will minimize or stop conflict. Because sometimes you find development has taken shape and then somebody comes and claims, you know, this mosque is at the place of my grandfather, this church was built, this is our land. Therefore, attaining of land title to all religious organizations will be something very, very important. This development must ensure that it is guided. How do we guide development? We need to ensure that to minimize further conflict, there is need for us to acquire land title. I will therefore summon the leadership of Maskiti in Paida to ensure that we sit together and we start the process of acquiring land title. I must appreciate the donors and the Islam community for this level of development which is taking shape. I also want to appeal to the Islam community to take education seriously. I have lobbied with Kampala International University, who have 4 scholarships, and Ndeje University, who have 20 scholarships, which forms are already available in my office. So at an appropriate time, these people should come to the notice board, get more information and fill the form, so that this chance at least we can send 24 of our own students to benefit from this bursary in the 2 universities that I've already mentioned. We must ensure that we take education seriously. It is education that will shape our country and that will make us to attain better quality life.
Meanwhile, Imam Abbas of Hayrat Mosque Kaya said Eid al-Adha is celebrated with love, unity and self-motivation, and implored other Muslims to use this celebration in helping the vulnerable people where they live.
Chieng Madit, Mitier, Ba Ibrahim, Mitier Wode, Ismail. Etie nindo me dekiri, manete nindo mimi umish, kujirani peri, kudano peri ma tung, enreme enindo ma enu, enindo ma ber akesha, enindo mi dual mi bedu kuju mer ju Kristo ngo sheke ma kuju bedi mer asiel. Man ju worry kudikiri karashel ni lubu tishpajo kwenda kurju pokingi gibeni gina shel ene ruoth Mungu rema oru gibi ni erua ni waro ire ene ruoth Mungu maneni rumitier ma giketo shingi kunga ruoth Mungu kabine kelne make tom game tome kame tinge tere ne tome sitani bini bange ugamwa de komaina weka ngo ibe achi bodi game tingu kide ngore kode ide maka donc enindo matin enindo mimer nindo mako je dekire nindo kuju Kristo kunga cheke gibedi gina shel pin makaji be shamo de jomi cheke rom washamde rom kadi shai kadi pi kadi pin manyenedi mako be kakara shel.
Meanwhile, as the Muslim community celebrates Eid al-Adha countrywide, President Museveni has urged Muslims to apply Prophet Ibrahim's spirit of sacrifice to all aspects of their lives. In his Eid message to the Muslims, he said that it took great sacrifice for the patriots to restore peace and stability in order to create an enabling environment for the development and socio-economic transformation of the country. He said the spirit of sacrifice should not be limited to only issues of faith, but should be applied in the development of their livelihood. In the Islamic faith, Eid al-Adha is celebrated in remembrance of Prophet Ibrahim's act of faith and obedience to Allah. According to the Holy Scriptures, Allah was pleased with him because he did not hesitate to sacrifice his son Ismail.
Today is Eid al-Adha, and Muslim believers of Paida, Zombo district, they have gathered here, they have prayed, and in the message delivered by Sheikh Al-Jab, he told the believers to be in unity and at least to help one another. For Westnile TV, Alfred Jawak.
And more in our stories for the evening. Muslims in Ajumani district have also joined the rest of the world to commemorate Eid al-Adha at Taqwa Mosque, Biaya Parish, Ajumani Town Council. Onzima Alan reports more.
Muslims in Ajumani district have today joined the rest of world in commemorating Eid al-Adha 2023. Sheikh Yusuf Mubaraka, the Imam at Taqwa Mosque in Abilicha Kusel, the Ajumani Town Council, said the day is for sacrifice as Prophet Ibrahim gave his son to Allah.
Muslims are celebrating this day because it is a day of joy, it is a day of victory, it is a day of celebration with friends, family and relatives. And also it is a day of happiness. It is also a day in which we the Muslim, we dedicate ourselves to Almighty Allah. And also it is also a day that as Muslim we need to be engaged in remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also above all, as I said, it is a day of sacrifice where Muslims are expected to be sacrificing animals, cow, goat or camel. You can sacrifice those type of animals. And so for this, as today is Eid, my message that I can pass inshallah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, I pray just let this day be a day of reflection. We need to reflect, we need to build bonds between our family, relatives and friends. We need to have that happiness between us, and also not forgetting today also we need to forgive others. Maybe if someone wrong you, you need to forgive. And also today, as we know, it is a day of eating, a day of drinking, but we need to eat and drink responsibly, inshallah ta'ala.
Messiah Mahmoud applauded the female Muslims for their decent dressing during the prayers and urged them to continue with the spirit. Reporting for Westnile TV, Onzima Alani, Ajumani NILECAST.
And more in our stories for the evening. The Uganda National Council of Sports on the 26th of June 2023 organized a stakeholders engagement meeting with the LC5 chairpersons, DEOs, COWs and sports officers of the Westnile region in order to digest the problems and solutions as far as sports activities are concerned. Osuta Yusuf reports more. The Uganda National Council of Sports on the 26th of June 2023 organized a stakeholders engagement meeting with the LC5 chairpersons, DEOs, COWs and sports officials in the West Nile region in order to digest problems and solutions as far as sports activities are concerned. The Administrative Secretary Technical Officer for National Council of Sports, Anne Nankanya, proposed to the district local governments to form a vibrant district sports councils to address gaps in the sports activities and also to bridge communication gap between the districts and the National Council of Sports.
Now, in this matter, we are directly connected to your sports, your district sports officers. And in this case, we want them to come up with a vibrant district sports council. This council will help everyone to put up his or her challenges or ideas, so that now the sports council itself comes in and sends that information for the National Council of Sports.
Arua District Chairperson for Social Services, Honorable Natalia Jateru, vented her frustration on how government is ignoring sports champions from the West Nile, like Nzukuru Dokas, who is now abandoned by government after making Uganda proud worldwide.
When Nzukuru Dokas, the president of this poor place, everyone's eyes and attention was on him. And I think it was expected even from the plane up to ground, that our family and the district, we moved together. What were the promises for the district? Not just simply, now we can afford by that time. The innocent crowd. I think God went into the nation, and the nation was also very proud to promise personal benefits and also community benefits. And the community benefit for Arua district was construction of stadium in the names of his doctors, which he mentioned. And I want the study to use statement that the local government did not follow up. The follow-up was done so well. Even up to the extent of legalizing the contractors on the grounds that the construction will start, and in 25 years the local government system is there a document in your office connected to this construction that the government will do us. So that we are aware that there is supposed to be
The LC5 chairperson Zombo District thanked National Council of Sports for organizing the first of its kind stakeholders engagement meeting to enlighten them as leaders on issues pertaining to sports activities.
The request which we received from them, basically as leaders, when we get back to our local government, we need to formulate the district council of sports like the national one. So this is now at the district level. Each district should form their district council sports, which will have mandate to guide and also meet to develop stadium sports activities.
The Deputy Resident Commissioner for Arua District, Nzama Ham Muzamil, castigated the National Council of Sports over what he said is alleged to be the level of biasness exhibited by the council through relegating some of the teams from the West Nile region without qualifying them.
Westnile generally loves sports. You have seen recently it has been exhibited in North, Western, and South, and the game of the cup. Now, we have been doing this one even with the no efforts from the National Council, I believe. That's why people talk about it. And people are internally knowing. But at least these are responsible people. Their annoyance has not reached the level of those people who are participating in the sport itself. There are some community members who are too annoyed. Actually, if they are the land that you people are around, you will see the area full with people. There is already a feeling in the community, in the people of Westnile, that you are self-centered. We have so many talents. When people goes up there to perform, you eliminate them. You don't want to put their names in that level of qualification where they could be considered for maybe outside participation and so on. This thing is in the minds of people. You are going to show it physically in the next view of your actions. You make sure that selections are done transparently, and I could also add maybe as part of the resolution that you need to form a committee. You pick people from each region in doing selection who has qualified for what.
Madiokolo resident District Commissioner Toko Swaibu stated that the people in the West Nile region have been nursing their frustrations quietly as far as issues of sports are concerned, and it is upon the National Council of Sports to take their frustrations, problems and expectations in good faith in order to work upon them.
These teams have expressed their feelings, their expectations, their challenges. Some of them were expressed with the voices touched the emotion, and they want to believe we take them in good faith and act for them. Actually, these people have been nursing frustrations quietly. And since today they have expressed their feelings, they will be free and we are ready to perform, and it is you to let them perform.
Usuta Yusuf and Kumaringa Christine for Westnile Television, NILECAST. And more in our stories for the evening. Members of Parliament from Nebi District have renewed their calls to the government by donating 2 million shillings for the renovation and elevation of Nebi Police Health Centre 2 to Health Centre 3 to serve both civilians and police personnel in the district. Alfredo Jawok reports.
Members of Parliament from Nebi District have renewed their calls to the government to renovate and elevate Nebi Police Health Centre 2 to Health Centre 3 to serve both civilians and police personnel in the district. The leaders raised their concerns recently while meeting Nebi police officers and other stakeholders to get a lasting solution to their existence challenges. Assistant Inspector of Police Luke Sherotich, in charge Nebi Police Health Centre 2, outlined challenges of understaffing, lack of space, and inadequate supply of essential drugs to the facility.
The major challenges we have been having are space, a form of infrastructure. You see, we are working in a single room. Or Fuchi room, it is a clinical room, it is a store. We do medical examination there, like for victims of development, rape. It is still within the same room. So confidentiality becomes very difficult for a patient, and that trust for someone to come back tomorrow, it's really hard. Then shortages of drugs, being a health center too, and the patient number is too much. We pray that if we get enough facilities and in the future, we shall be able to offer maternity services to the community. We shall engage the office of the DHO. We can offer immunization services so that we relieve the general hospital from the burden of numbers and what.
Nebi District Police Commander, Senior Superintendent of Police, Amisi Kayondo, said the contributions came timely as the health facility is unable to operate due to unfavorable condition of the structures.
The facility is small. We are overwhelmed by the number of the people who come. Now that one forced us to start looking outside for well-wishers, and through our community questing program, we contacted the honorable members of parliament. They are 3 and they are very good people, they are cooperative. So by yesterday they came to us here to answer our request, and they came with some money which can start the work of expanding another structure at the same station, which we can expand and make it accommodative, so that there's enough space for our people who come for medicine, for treatment.
Hashim Suleiman, Nebi Municipality Member of Parliament, who doubles as chairperson Greater Nebi Parliamentary Caucus, revealed that due to the sorry state of the health center, 4 MPs from Nebi District contributed 2 million shillings to kickstart renovation works of the structures.
The DPC told us that he wanted to renovate this place. He wanted to renovate this building, like the health officer has been saying, that the other place is very small. They lack storage facility, they don't have stores. The in charge needed a space also to sit and maybe examine people, and other very many activities are supposed to take place. So they really need space. They really need space. So we thought of renovating this place, and also we thought of maybe, because the first proposal was to have a shed there, a waiting shed. But now, a shed and also renovating this place. That's why I'm saying that at least the local governments will be putting some small thing in their budget to support this facility. I don't know whether it is there. If it is there, it's okay. But if it is not there, they need to consider that. I contributed 500,000. Honorable Fiona contributed 500,000. Honorable Agnes Ashib contributed 500,000, and Honorable Isaac also contributed 500,000. So we collected it to make 2 million. So this 2 million we wanted to hand over to you to start the work. So as we start the work, shall be monitoring. So here is the 2 million that you can start with.
Meanwhile, Agnes Ashibu, Nebi District Woman Member of Parliament, appealed to police in Nebi District to put the money for its purpose, and she pledged to share the information with the Speaker of Parliament, Annette Anita Mong, for other assistance.
I think the issue of health is very sensitive, especially for us women. We are happy the little we have, because whenever we have any engagement, any request, the 3 of us sit together. How are we going to handle this? Because the resource basket now is very small. So the little we have brought, you should appreciate it. It is in good faith. Let it start somewhere. Next time you make a request, we sit again. How are we going to handle?
Nebi Resident District Commissioner Robert Abak, in his closing remarks during the meeting, appealed to management of Nebi General Hospital to share a supply of essential drugs with the Nebi Police Health Center too, to help patients on time.
This is a day which we must treat it as it's a very special day for us, the people of Nebi, and members of this community, the police. The Uganda Police Force is a pro-people's force. This central division, we have Abindo and we have Tata. All of them are supposed to be having at least a facility at the level of Health Center 3. But with the central, we already have here also the General Hospital. Then when you begin asking yourself why that people are more interested in this facility than the other, they get at least good services here. There should be drug redistribution.
Some stakeholders who attended the meeting were Padire County Member of Parliament Ismail Otimgi Isaac, Mayor Nebi Municipality Ngiriker Geoffrey, and Chairperson Tata Division Jacqueline Opar, among others. Alfred Jawok, Westnile TV, NILECAST.
And more in our stories for the evening. Authorities in Maracha district have blamed the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries for the loss of lives from the flash floods in I Stream under the Awiziro sub-county for failure to complete the bridge construction project in the area. In March 2022, Maracha district local government benefited from 1 billion shillings bridge construction project from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries under the Agriculture Cluster Program in order to link farmers to nearby markets and find benefit for their produce, but to date the construction of the bridge stalled 2 months from the onset, affecting people's access to social services. Frederick Dramadri reports.
The residents in Awiziro County have decried the delayed completion of a bridge still under construction by Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries in Marsa district. From the onset of the rains this year, 1 person has been reported dead and 5 others pulled alive after falling into the flood's water in the valley, raising eyebrows among the members of the community, as no alternative temporary bridge has been provided by the contractor. The bridge construction project launched in March 2022 under the Agricultural Cluster Development Program to aid farmers' linkages with agricultural produce to the nearby markets of Odamachaku, Lia, Arua City and Nyadri, was abandoned shortly in 2 months after the commencement of the construction works. Jovik Asizu, the area councillor representing persons with disabilities to Awiziro County in Marsa district, reveals that access to farmland by communities is hard, besides other social services being blocked, especially during rain season.
We have rescued almost 5 of them. They fall in water and then we rescued them, but 1 died completely. Now crossing the river is now very hard for us. We have children from this side who are studying on the other side and they are not able to cross the river. And those who are digging across are not able to manage. Then the disabled are totally cut off. So we have problems.
But Stephen Obitre, Marsa District Chairman, says failure to complete the project has affected the livelihood of the people in the district and urged ministry officials to devise alternative means for the people to access services.
For us, 1 billion to fix a bridge connecting Lokura to Olovo and Jupi, the other side across. 1 billion. The project started around March. It started well, but as we speak now, it is also abandoned. This is a central government project that is controlled by the center. The contractor was selected by the center. The site was abandoned just after 2 months from the time it started. The unfortunate thing is school is the other side. There is a very huge population across. It has been difficult for school-going pupils to cross there because when the bridge started, their temporary bridge was broken. It is terrible. The people there used to use the temporary bridge to access market in Arua city because that is the biggest market. They used to go there. But because of absence of this bridge, they now take longer routes.
Meanwhile, Paul Walakra, Marsa District Chief Administrative Officer, attributes the stalling of the project to the failure by the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries to pay the contractor. He says they are putting more efforts to ensure that the payment is fast-tracked in order to rescue the communities to access services.
Even tried to sue the Minister of Agriculture, but the problem is paying next year. We are in touch with the Minister of Agriculture. They had promised us to clear him before the end of the year. So we don't know.
The contractor, not yet identified by press time, is said to have been sourced by Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries and was awarded 6 months for the construction of the 1 billion bridge, and this was expected to end by August 2022, but to date, construction works have remained at the bed of the bridge. Frederick Dramadri, Westnile TV, NILECAST. To date, construction works have remained at the bed of the bridge. Frederick Dramadri, Westnile TV, NILECAST.
And more in our stories for the evening. At the Overseer Revival Worship Center Church, Pastor Peter King Mwaka, is calling upon mental health experts to come in and build the capacity of pastors on mental health issues. According to Pastor Peter King Mwaka, the countless Christians end up being misled by pastors due to ignorance on mental health in churches. Stephen Okello reports.
In the normal setting, at Pentecostal church, singing and dancing come first. Before introducing congregations into worship song, that always ushers the preacher of the day. During his sermon last Sunday, Peter King Mwaka, the overseer of Revival Worship Center Church, explained to the congregations how mental health problems is affecting the churches.
How do you know that you are living a life of trauma? How do you know? How does trauma affect you? How do you function?
Pastor Peter King says it is time for the church to bridge the existing gap between the health expert and spiritual leaders to enable the two entities fight the escalating case of mental health in the community.
Some people don't want to talk about it. That's a challenge. Because they know what they've gone through, they don't want to talk about it. People who are looking for quick answer may look at what I am doing as a waste of time.
While delivering his message to congregation on Sunday, some Christians were jubilating, while others sat quietly looking at his face in a sad mood.
And yesterday I learned a lot, and it's quite helping me, because sometimes we can get also trauma during our businesses, because whenever you get losses and you start worrying, now I've put this capital and the money is not there, so it will become also a trauma in your mind.
Michael Robanga, a public health educator, says there is need for churches to start working together with health experts to sensitize community on some of the health-related matters like mental health.
We have divorce, failed marriages, and others who have failed to achieve in life. Definitely they have trauma, or others who came with the background where you came from. Okay, so there is trauma even in the church, so people need to know how to act on that.
Alal Single-Dora affirmed the gap between the churches and mental health experts in handling mental health cases. She urges pastors and religious leaders to always refer people with mental health signs for further management in the health facility.
I think it's also important to recognize that mental health are conditions that need treatment. And so just not prayers alone will bring the lasting relief that we want. So it is important that the churches can be supported basically to identify and refer. So if we take them through the signs and symptoms, then they can quickly identify their Christians with those symptoms and then link them for counseling support.
According to Mental Health Uganda, over 14 million people are suffering from mental health related illness, and many are believed to be going to churches looking for spiritual healing, which address part of their problems, leaving the clinical perspective untouched. Stephen Okello for Westnile Television, NILECAST.
In sports, Arua Public Secondary School were declared the winners of this year's 2-day athletic championship of Arua City that took place yesterday at Barifa Stadium in Arua City. Munigal Secondary School won the ladies category after having faced off a stiff competition from Mvara Secondary School and Arua Secondary School, while Arua Public took the boys' trophy and also faced a tight race from Arua Secondary School and Mvara Secondary School. However, a scuffle ensued as students headed back to their respective schools, leading to a joint security intervention. Farish Majid and Frederick Dramadri report.
3 students whose identities are not yet established have been arrested and detained at Arua Central Police Station following their involvement in activities of hooliganism contrary to the Federation's set guidelines. This was during the 2023 Arua City Secondary School's athletics competitions, in which Arua Public Secondary School emerged winner in the boys category with a total of 156 points, followed by Arua SS, who pulled 133 points among others, while Moni Girls SS won the girls category with 136 points, followed by Arua SS out of the 13 schools that turned out for the competition. The event, beefed by security, was generally peaceful, attributed to the pre-event engagements by stakeholders, as revealed by Angwa Bernard, the chairperson, Arua City Secondary School Teachers Association.
Competition. It's not a competition for hooliganism, for villagers, and we have tried as much as possible to call both the UPDF, the police, the patriotism club, and also use some teachers to move around, because we're in the forest actually. Because this is a bush area where some students have come up with the idea, or even some people have come with the idea of trying to drink alcohol and smoke opium, which we are moving, even the UPDF are moving around. We have instructed them, like we have arrested some. Yesterday we arrested some people who disrupted the police while going back home with their vehicle. So 3 were arrested yesterday, and today some have also been arrested by the police.
What was the reason for arresting them?
From the stones to the police. Yesterday, they smashed part of the vehicle of the police yesterday. So there's
On the other hand, students in various schools that participated appreciated the high level of organization witnessed in this year's school athletics competitions.
People have gathered here, we are meeting our friends. Friends we finished primary with, we have made them here today, so it's a happy day for me.
It's the only thing with all stadium that you can use for athletics for hosting these games. I would suggest if the officials have some finance to put in time to develop this place, to make it a better place, so that we promote the talents of the students, all the schools from Westnile.
Similarly, Omar Mohamedin, the coach of Arua Secondary School that emerged second in both boys and girls categories, says the officiation was transparent.
Very good. There's nothing I've seen but that's by no complaints from the students. So I indicates that everything is okay. No school has complained so far.
Anguzu Rashid, the disciplinary committee chairperson, pledged to indefinitely ban schools identified to be participating in discipline cases.
Aware that Arua City has 9 government-aided secondary schools and 24 private schools. The private schools have children who belong to Uganda, and therefore the children in the private schools are not private students or private children. They are children of Uganda who are entitled to these activities. By some schools not participating, we are denying many children there the possibility or the opportunity to be the next Injikurus.
However, the day was later marred by violence as students got involved in rallying battles with security agencies. Some were also seen pelting stones at one another on their way to their respective schools in the city. Alice Akelo, the Arua City Resident Commissioner, earlier warned the students from indulging in discipline cases, which, however, fell in deaf ears.
God has given you talents. Those who are running, run very well, and God will take you to another level. We want to pick another Insikuru from here. Why do we these days only get runners from Sebei? We have you people here. The Kiprotics are here. So we want you to do what you are doing with passion, so that it is not about academics. You can run and become somebody. You can play football and you become somebody. Only if you do it with discipline. So I want to call upon you to have discipline in everything you do. Even as we end this event, let us not attack each other.
Last year, Arua City was stopped from participating in national events following indiscipline acts However, this year, Arua City is privileged to host the forthcoming regional athletics competitions for Westnile region. This will run from 30th of June to 2nd of July at NTC Muni. Farish Majid, Frederick Damadri, Westnile Television, NILECAST.
And to end our NILECAST for the evening in the national news, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, has applauded the Financial Institutions Amendment Bill 2023, which aims to implement Islamic banking. During the Eid al-Adha celebrations at the Old Kampala Mosque, the Mufti stated that these halal complaints initiatives might elevate Muslims from poverty. On Tuesday, Parliament passed the Financial Institutions Amendment Bill 2023, permitting borrowers to obtain interest-free loans under the Islamic banking if signed into law by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And with that story, viewer, we've come to the end of the NILECAST on Westnile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the NILECAST to the end of the NILECAST, only on Westnile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Ukumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.